Hey guys, we are back. Fuckily, they finally got Star back on TV, so I'm just like, bitch, good. So let's go ahead and get right into this. So the episode starts off with Alex and Derek pretty much arguing over the whole situation with Alex lying and not being honest and, stealing the necklace and whatnot. And he pretty much kicks her out of the house. And Alex, who is already in her feelings, lets him know that she's tired of wheeling him around. And I'm like, damn, Alex, I know you're mad and everything, but girl, chill. So then we get into fucking Noah and Star. I'm about tired of this bitch. I'm tired of Noah and I'm tired of Star. Something needs to happen to those two. And it after viewing this, I don't know. But they pretty much fucking all around the studio. And Noah wants their relationship to be public, but Star wants them to be, on the down low. And I'm like, for what? Everybody already knows that you sleep around with everybody, so it's like, what you hiding? What are you hiding? Exactly. Everybody knows you sleep around, girl. Stop. Who you fooling? So, later on, we get into the prison, and the officers finds out that Karen was skipping around on curfew along with Simone, and they end up taking her away to a different jail cell. Excuse me. And they pretty much drag her out. Simone and her feelings because she's trying to figure out why they're taking her away and whatnot, and why they're making such a big deal about this over missing curfew when Simone. My whole thing with you on this is I understand that you have a crush on Karen, and I understand that you are doing everything in your power to protect her, but like Carlotta said in the last episode, she's a criminal. She committed a crime, and therefore she's really doing time. You're just in jail because there's no other available family out there for you in child protective services, and you've already been sent away too many times for them to have you sent away again. So they rather just have you in the holding cell to serve up your time for smoking in school. You gotta remember that. So later at the shop, she confronts Carlotta about it, and Carlotta's trying to let her know that they got more important shit to worry about, like trying to prepare for, this performance that they got going on for the Midtown Showcase. And they needed to go in ahead and change their name for the group, and I'm like, finally. Because I know all of y'all probably agree with me on this, but I know that I'm not really feeling Big Trouble. Big Trouble, I'm just not feeling it. So they go in ahead and they have their song "Time" for their set list, and Hahia is still pretty much bragging about how his new sound is gonna be big one day, and how when his music soars, they're gonna be wishing that they had him as their producer, And I'm sitting here like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You live in a trailer beside the store. The girls are doing so much better without your ass. They never needed you, and neither did we. So, then we meet up with Ayana and her father, and he's pretty much not impressed with everything that she has so far. He wasn't impressed over how her company looks and how her label looks. He's not impressed about how much it hasn't really made her famous or successful like her other siblings. And she pretty much tries to kiss his ass, saying that she found Gigi when the gag is, sweetie, your father actually was the one who found Gigi. Okay? And he literally told you that. He found Gigi. And you actually need to take time to find your own Gigi. Because she's mine. So she lets him in on the showcase and the contest that she has for all of her artists. And he's very doubtful, and he's like, "Oh, okay. We'll see where this goes. We'll see how much this we'll see how much this contest is. Whatever." At this point, I don't trust Brody. I never trusted him the second that he first came on the show 2 episodes ago, because how you gonna sit here and disappear from your own kids and your dying wife and then pop up into the scene out of nowhere when your daughters are becoming famous? That's on some real shady ass shit. Like, you didn't come by or return into their lives like while they were like still going through the child protective services issues earlier last season. You wasn't there for any of that, but you just had to come when they want when they start getting them when they start getting that shmoney. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. I don't care what nobody says. I don't trust Brody. He's only here for the money. And he made that so dead obvious. I am so pissed at Simone at how she is clearly not seeing this, but whatever. He's pretty much on the phone calling somebody about trying to get the money and shit. And then we get back to Hahil, where he meets up with Diana about the track that he made earlier, and she clearly was unimpressed by it. And she starts questioning him on whether or not he was even good enough to even be a producer and whatnot. And she tries to offer. It was cute though. She tried to offer him some beats instead, but he's like, "No, I know who you are. You and I can definitely relate because we were both washed up people who's trying to prove ourselves to others because you ain't got shit. You ain't doing shit. You ain't making enough money. You don't have nothing on your plate. And you working your ass off for no reason." But clearly, she was not giving into it, and she still dismisses him. So then we meet up with Noah, and he meets up with Star, and they pretty much continue discussing about trying to get their relationship to be more open and whatnot. And then they going ahead and she meets up with his friend Lucky. For a second, I don't know about y'all, but to me, for a quick second, I low key thought for a quick second that Lucky almost looked like fucking um I promised y'all he almost looked like fucking Chris Brown. I don't know why, but for a quick second I thought that was him, but I'm like, nah, that's just some random nigga. And he starts making, a good impression on her. And then Brody arrives, wanting to see Simone. Child, me and Star was pretty much on the same level. Like, you tried to connect with Star so that you can try to get the money from her, but she saw through your bullshit and she knew what you were about and she knew why you're really here and she wasn't here for it. So you moved on to the next best thing, which is Simone. Since you and Star both know that she was too young to remember what really happened between y'all's family. So you knew that you can make it an easier advantage to go and try to connect with Simone and get the money through her. Since she's easy. But Star put that shit right on hold, and she put him in his place that he just wasn't here for it. He didn't care about anybody else but himself. And once he left, Noah and Lucky got concerned and they vowed that they was gonna have her back. Little do they know, Ayana was spying on them in the background. Clearly she wasn't having it. So then we get into her assistant Andy, who I just found out through the commercial breaks on my research that this is Elijah Kelly. So I'm like, damn, five five episodes in, and I'm just finding out that this guy was Elijah Kelly. Okay, so Elijah Kelly visits Hahil's cabin, and he was intrigued by Hahil because of how much he really stood up against Ayana during their last meeting, and he was actually interested in hearing Ayana's track. I mean, my bad, Hahil's track. Hahil was a little he wasn't into it at first, but when he started singing, he was in. And Hahil quickly got impressed. So when they start rehearsing the sound that he stole from his nephew Angel, the guy that he first made the sound from a few episodes back, Angel pops up, notices the sound that Elijah and Hahil was rehearsing with, and he confronts him about it because he feels disappointed because he actually looked up to Hahil as, the best guy ever, coming to find out that he stole his own music and he was pretty much upset about it. He just wasn't here for it. So then Hahil pretty much sweet talks Angel into doing the sound, and when he starts singing, that just sparks up Hahil to where he ends up coming up with an idea for them to come up with some dynamic duo or whatever. I'm just like, girl, get the fuck out of here. So then, later on, the girls rehearsed for the performance, and the rehearsal was good. They did a good job. Then the good vibes eventually was cut short because Star was still bothered about Brody wanting to see Simone. Simone is in her feelings because of the simple fact that she actually wanted to meet Brody and wanted to get to know him, which is a bit understandable because, like I said before, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, y'all, but I'm gonna get to this video. But it's understandable because Simone was too young to remember shit. So it is a little understandable for Simone to want to meet her dad and whatnot, but we're all not here for it. And Star made up some good points saying that how you gonna sit here and want to meet the man who left your ass for dead, didn't care about you, didn't think about you, didn't even call back or even helped you get out of the whole situation between you and your mess. And they pretty much argue about it, and Simone walks off saying that she's gonna go to therapy. Star goes with her. Alex, she leaves saying that she was gonna go record a session, but again, me and Carlotta, we were both not here for that lie. Alex, we both know that you ain't busy, you ain't got shit to do. It's not always gonna be about them. What's up with you and Derek? Alex quickly gets in her feelings, and she pretty much dismisses the entire situation like that. Girl. So then we get into Noah and Lucky. They start hanging out and chilling in the studio. Then Ayana pops up and tells Noah that he needs to get rid of Lucky because he's already been in trouble with the police and that he's already on probation And excuse me, that's already becoming a bad influence on Noah's image. Noah quickly snaps back at her and tells her that she needs to understand that he ain't going nowhere and that he's family. Do you understand that, sister? Ayana gets in her feelings again, and she tells him that he needs to do better and that he needs to clean up his act, and that she had to quickly remind him that she was the boss. I'm like, it was cute, but whatever. So then we get into Alex in the studio trying to take her mind off of things because she was already put in her place about her and Derek. And Noah pops up and, he tries to open up to her about how she feeling, if there's anything bothering her, she can always open up to him and talk to him about it. She refuses to open up and talk to him about shit and walks off. And I'm like, you better do that, Alex. But if y'all notice, the way how they was talking to each other and the way how they was, the way how the vibe was when they were together, I can already tell that it might be a possible storyline that Alex and Noah might end up having a thing together and shit, I don't know. This show is just it's all over the place, but I'm still gonna be tuned in for this shit. It is what it is. So moving on from that, we get back to Brody, who actually visits Simone in prison. They talk about how he feels sorry that he wasn't there for her and that he should have been there and that he feels sorry that she was in jail. And Simone asks him why he left. He lets her know that he's always going to be a daughter to him and he felt very selfish and that he's there now. I'm like, girl, shut your greedy thirsty ass up. And then Star tried to call her, but she didn't get an answer, clearly, because they're busy bonding. Noah then meets up with her again, and he starts feeling worried about how Brody popped up on her the other day and wondering if there's anything going on and that he needs to go on ahead and handle anything. And she's like, I'm good. I don't need anything. I don't need for you to do anything for me. I got this. Don't worry about that. So yeah, and then after that she leaves, but then she comes back and asks him, lets him know that when they were having sex earlier in the episode and she said that she had problems, she said that he was the reason that she got problems, that she got issues. Like we don't already know that. So then we get back into Alex, who is pretty much setting herself up on this crazy wardrobe at the same store that she stole the necklace from. And the manager pretty much, compliments her on her look. And then she's like, oh, by the way, we know you stole that necklace. We caught you on video surveillance, bitch. They caught your ass up. They know what you did. Bitch. But luckily Carlotta helped got her out of trouble and keep her from going to jail, and she instead went and took her to church. And she tried to go on ahead and let her know that, listen, I know you've went through a lot, okay, with the abortion, lying about all the stuff that you did, and not being honest with Derek and why he kicked your ass out. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, everybody got problems, and everybody is going to go through the pain. Everybody's going to go through hurt and complete distress. You just need to take the time to be patient and learn to trust God and let Him help you, guide you through these problems and help you get to where you need to go. But Alex wasn't here for it because she doesn't believe in God and she felt too proud and too nervous about wanting to open up about her problems. But Carlotta had to let her know that it's okay. It's okay to be honest. It's okay to let go and just break down because at the end of the day, if you hold stuff in, it's only going to make the pain worse. And that's exactly what Alex has been doing. She's been holding in all that pain and she doesn't know how to let it out. She definitely lets it out and she just needs to learn to try to trust in a few things. And, I thought that scene was a little cute. So then we get into Karen and Simone in prison again. And right after, Simone, talked with Brody, she walks into the jail cell and finds Karen packing up all her stuff because they had already took her out and now they're about to transfer her to a different jail facility somewhere off of the outskirts of town. Simone wants her to stay and she wants her to try to help her figure out a way to get her out of this. But again, Simone, even Karen had to let you know she is a criminal. She is a prisoner. They can do whatever they want to her. No one is going to save or think about her. You are on holding because social services can't take you in no more. She had to let you know that. But of course, Simone wasn't going to give up, and she lets her know that she's always going to remember her, and they have a goodbye kiss. And I'm like, oh, that was cute. So then we get into the showcase, and the girls are preparing backstage, and Carlotta lets them know at the last minute that they need to put all the bullshit aside. Whatever happened, they need to let that shit go and try to move on. So then on stage, they introduce themselves with their new name as Take 3. And I'm like, okay, I see how it is. It's cute. It's cute for what it is. I like it. And then they went on ahead and performed the song Time, which was a slow ballad. And I'm like, okay, like the song is good for what it is, and it was a cute performance, and everybody was, everyone was enjoying it. But then during the performance, Brody comes in from the audience like Otis did with Simone back from last season, and that almost caught Star off her game. So backstage, she confronts him again and tells him to back off. And Carlotta lets Brody know that he needs to just go because he's causing way too much problems. He's causing way too much drama. He needs to go. He needs to bounce. Simone gets in her feelings and she lets Star know, listen, you need to stop all this selfish shit and put it to rest and just forgive him. He's here now. Accept that. And Alex, who's already like in her coming to Jesus mode, talking about how she needs to go ahead and forgive him, but Star and I, we refuse. So then Simone goes off on Star and tells her that she's selfish and that she don't trust nobody and that if she's going to keep playing this selfish trust game and she's going to end up being alone for the rest of her life. For Star's instance, I mean, I'm not going to say this just for Star. This is just for people in general. It is true if you continuously have trust issues with any and everybody that you meet in your lifetime and that you keep pushing everybody away, then of course you're going to be lonely. That may be true. But in this case, what y'all need to understand is that Brody is not someone to trust. The man left y'all for dead and comes back out of nowhere when you guys are famous. He's only there for the money. And I'm sorry, Simone, but I'm with Star on this. You can't trust this man. He is only here just to take y'all money for whatever reason I don't know. But all I can say is that what good is it going to make for you to bring a man like this back into your life? Because if you introduce him and you keep him around, you're only going to get robbed out of all of your money. And you're going to look stupid for even trusting him when it's all said and done. So I don't feel bad for anybody who wants to feel sympathy for Brody, but at this point, he's not trustworthy. And I'm with Star on this. You're going to look stupid when he robs your ass out of all your money. The hell? So then, after that, then they announced Andy and Angel's performance, and this wows the crowd, but pisses Carlotta off because she notices that Andy, who is Ayana's assistant, is getting a gig, and then she recognizes Angel as Hahil's nephew. So she already knows that this is all Hahil's doing. So meanwhile, while all of that was going on, we get outside the event and Lucky gets checked by the officers because he was breaking his probation and they found some suspicious items in his car. Noah and Lucky ends up acting and pretty much reacting the exact same way how most people, mostly black people, would act whenever an officer pretty much interrogates them over stuff that they didn't do. They freak out. They wild out. And Lucky starts reaching over into his pocket, and the officer pretty much shoots his ass dead. Like, that whole scene was like a regular episode of the Boondocks, child. Like, y'all remember that episode when they shot Uncle Ruckus multiple times when he was about to pull out his wallet and they thought it was a gun? That's how it went. That's pretty much how the whole thing went. And they went and shot his ass dead. I'm like, damn! I actually like Lucky, and y'all gonna kill him off this damn early? Like, damn! He just got into this episode and y'all just gonna kill him off like this? Bitch, damn! So then, Noah is all in his feelings about them shooting Lucky dead, and the officer who shot him pretty much is in his feelings because he just killed an innocent man right then and there, an innocent black man. And I'm like, yeah, you better feel sorry because you look stupid now because you just killed an innocent man. But you're dumbass. So then later, Star comes in and she's upset about his death, and she pretty much copes with the other girls about it, and they pretty much discuss how it was a complete injustice issue and how it was just a completely disgusting act. And I could honestly agree that that was really disgusting and it was just not right and not okay. So then we get into Andy and Angel talking about how good their performance was and how it was going to possibly change their lives, but Andy knows his place. He's still Ayana's assistant, so he ain't really going to go nowhere. So he leaves. Then Carlotta confronts Hahil about the performance, about how he did that all for himself because he doesn't care about anybody else but himself. He was selfish. And I agree with Carlotta with that. He is selfish. Whatever. So in the studio, Noah is breaking down and upset about Lucky's death, and Star comes in and confronts him about it, and they have a moment of silence, and he starts crying over it, and I'm like, this is the part where I actually start feeling sympathy for Noah, and I'm actually starting to become more personally interested in his character throughout the rest of the season. Simone and Brody are in the car together, and they talk about how him and Mary met and how they met in school and that they smoked cigarettes together. Alex opens up to Derek about her bad choices, and she breaks down about how she felt bad about everything. Then Star comes over to Brody's hotel room later on to make an effort to forgive him, at least that I thought, only to find out that she was going to threaten to kill him if he were to mess around with Simone. But I know that's not going to work. He ain't going back down till he gets this money. Come to find out, he working with Hunter's mom. I'm like, bitch! I so did not see that shit coming. But I'm clearly not surprised now that I think about it. So then we get back to Ayana. She's at home watching the video of Lucky's death, and Hahil comes in and she confronts him about taking Andy to do music, and she reminds him that, he needs to step up and clean up his act, but Hahil, knowing that they both got something in common, Hahil isn't playing her game, and he knows that she still has her walls up. And she ends up starts understanding about having sympathy for others after Lucky's death, and they end up having sex. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I am not happy that they had sex. And then Carlotta walks in on them, and me and her were not surprised that they had sex. And they left. I'm sitting here like, these are some thirsty, broke, disgusting, selfish ass bitches. And I'm clearly not surprised for how they're gonna go out for next week's episode. But that was Star season 2. May the best manager win. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.